Gilliland on the pole, and former Talladega winner Dale Jarrett, his teammate outside of row 1.
Row 2, Hendrick teammates. Jimmy Johnson on the inside and Jeff Gordon on the outside.
On the inside of row 3, the first Jack Roush car. On the outside, Kyle Busch, the third Hendrick car. Biffle on the inside.
In row 4, Sterling Marlin and Jamie McMurray.
Row 5, two guys looking for the first win. Brian Vickers and J.J. Yaley on the outside for Gibbs.
On the inside of row 6 is Ryan Newman. On the outside, Denny Hamlin, currently second in NASCAR and Nextel Cup points.
Winner could come out of row 7 today. Former series champion Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick, one of the 10 drivers chasing the Nextel Cup.
Joe Nemechek on the inside of row 8. On the outside, Martin Truex Jr.
Row 9, we find on the inside Carl Edwards, the second Jack Roush car, and Kyle Petty. Great run for him on the outside.
In row 10, Matt Kenseth, another one of the chasers, and Mike Bliss with a solid qualifying run.
Inside of row 11 is one here before, Michael Waltrip. On the outside, Elliott Sadler in the 19 car.
On the inside of row 12 is Kenny Schrader in the 21 car. Paul Menard, a regular on the NASCAR Busch Series, on the outside.
And as we take a look at the rest of the starting grid for today's race at Talladega, BP is going to jump on the radio and see who is on the other end.
Jeff Burton, Benny Parsons, you get me?
Yeah, I got you, Benny.
Jeff, you're starting 34th today. Does that change the strategy any?
Oh, it really doesn't. I mean, this race is pretty much the same no matter where you start. Obviously, the first few laps will be different, but people in the front at some point are going to be in the back. People in the back at some point are going to be in the front. So the key is being in the front at the right time.
Those first few laps, you're going to hang back in the back and just see what happens?
I'm sorry, Benny, I didn't just hear you.
Those first few laps, you're going to hang in the back and just see what happens?
Oh, we're not going to do anything different than what we've been doing all year long, and we haven't any time we've ever done that. It seems like we got in the wreck, so that's not our strategy. Our strategy is to try to be smart, but we're not going to hang in the back. We're going to do what we normally do.
43 cars, 500 miles at Talladega on a repaved racing surface with a slightly smaller restrictor plate. The place is packed. It's race number 4 in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. A rookie takes him to the green flag. Glad you were along for the ride.
The pin has been pulled from the hand grenade.
We just don't know how long the fuse is.
How long can you hold your breath?
You can hold it a long time because you have to here.
You see, Dale Jarrett was able to beat his teammate to come back and lead that first lap.
That's huge for David Gilliland, I would think, to be able to follow Dale Jarrett, his teammate. Jarrett in the 88, Gilliland in the 38. Jeff Gordon on the outside with a teammate right behind him. And Jimmy Johnson third in that inside row. Drivers in yellow on the ticker at the top of the screen, the 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. Gordon trying to get the lead. 5 bonus points on the line here if Gordon can lead at start-finish.
There we go. They're splitting them. Dale Jarrett stuck in the centers.
And Gilliland that time drove on the inside of his teammate Jarrett, trying to work his way to the front. Now, but there's 24 cars in front.
Sorry, BP. Now, it used to be, being in the center got a little bit spooky at this place because it was so bumped. But now it's different. This place is so smooth. You can drive anywhere on this racetrack. It's like being on a freeway. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe that center line won't be so bad today.
Gordon did lead the last lap. Got his 5 bonus points.
Dave, what about the 88?
You know, we're used to seeing him drop to the back early on in these races. He told me this morning before we talked to him on Countdown to Green that he would stay up in the front of this pack as long as the pack allowed it. If he gets freight trained early, he will make his way to the back as normal. But he said, if my car will stay up there, getting some help from Kevin Harvick right now, I'll race at the front.
You see that, folks? 198 miles per hour. They're going through the turns at 195 on board with Dale Jarrett. Backstretch as they get in that draft, as they run nose to tail, getting faster and faster. 198, 199. Wow. What's Gilliland saying, Marty?
BP, an impressive showing for this young 30-year-old so far, and his plan was exactly like his teammate Dale Jarrett. I'll stay up front as long as I can, but right now he's getting shuffled to the back. He said once he does go to the back, his plan is to stay there for most of the race, try and make a run late in the race though, but stay there and gain some experience.
McMurray's going to lead that lap.
Check out those two Roush cars. McMurray and Biffle, the 26 and 16, go to the front. They've shuffled Jeff Gordon back to about 5th or 6th.
This is about a 33-car pack. About 10 drivers have dropped behind the lead pack.
And Kyle Busch hung on the bottom of the racetrack in that 5-car and watch him lose positions because he doesn't have a car to draft with.
I'm not sure might not be trying to get to the back there too, BT. Some of these guys you see really falling through the back of the field. I'm not sure if they're just trying to get out of this pack.
Yeah, the problem with Gilliland, he backed up into Tony Stewart, who's going the other way. Matt Kenseth in that 17 car in the middle of that pack. McMurray, the race leader.
And DJ trying to get back to the 2nd position and does, bringing Jeff Gordon with him.
McMurray has the one career win 4 years ago, October 13, 2002. Down the backstretch. And as Benny pointed out, that yellow line is out of bounds. You cannot go down there to pass a driver.
Kyle Busch during qualifying yesterday was a little concerned about a tire rub on his left front fender. It may be that he backed up just to ride to make that first pit stop and get that fender knocked out a little bit with a hammer.
He was hoping for an early pit stop because it was an impound race. You can't touch the car after qualifying. Update on the 5 for Marty.
You guys mentioned that left front tire rub, BP. They were a little bit concerned about that in qualifying yesterday. They also had that left front tire rub, but this is not by design for Kyle Busch. He is not falling to the back intentionally. He got shuffled out, but that was their plan, to stay up front. But it looks like to me he's going back on purpose, doesn't it?
Definitely giving up some positions, Marty.
You just see how close these guys run each other. Even though this place is smooth, these cars are still going to move around a lot. When you're in the draft, the air plays a lot of games with your car. 1 minute the car will turn, the next minute it won't turn. Then you go to the next corner, and then it turns too good. So you've always got to be on top of that steering wheel.
.115 laps complete at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in front of this pack, but he is not the race leader. He's 36th and about to get lapped. Had to make an unscheduled pit stop.
Now, if he can stay there, obviously he would get the lucky dog if the yellow were to come out. So he needs to really stay up with this lead pack if possible.
And Earnhardt Jr. knew that pack was coming. He was talking to his crew about it.
Leaders at the start-finish line now. Hey, I'll see if I can't run a little harder. At this point, I just kind of let you know how far ahead we are of them right now. Maybe we can get a break. I don't know. I know. I just make it joke. Got plenty of time to think right here.
You know, riding around the racetrack by yourself at 51 flat, you got plenty of time to think.
You really do. It's the most boring thing in the world. People, even though you're running 190 miles per hour, it's so easy to do at a place like this when you're by yourself. But now when you're in this pack, it's a whole different story.
And it also shows how Earnhardt Jr. and his team, how they've matured, because he's making, trying to make light of a bad situation, and that's good leadership from the driver, trying to keep his guys loose. And now we saw Earnhardt Jr. have the tire problem, but there were other things going on when that tire went down.
Yeah, actually, he did that. He obviously did it in front of some cars, and J.J. Yeley in the 18 car had to check up. He checked up, went up the racetrack, and the 21 of Kenny Schrader ran into him. And then they got tagged by Tony Raines in the 9.6. Here's Schrader. Really gave Yeley a pretty good pop there. I'm surprised both those guys didn't spin out.
It really is amazing that we didn't have a crash, because we can see the damage to that 21 car.
Yeah, and poor Schrader, I mean, he's running 3 seconds, 4 seconds slower than the pack with that damage. So it's just going to be a long day for him, Matt, for the rest of the day.
And Jeff Gordon just commented on how the 8 of Junior just pulled away from the whole pack with the 25 of Vickers. The one comment that he did make, he said to his spotter.
All the way around the track, just draft that was legal all in the corners.
He did say to his spotter, tell the 48, meaning his teammate Jimmy Johnson, if I can help him, I will. I just can't run in the outside lane. It just bogs me down. If I leave the middle, I'm in trouble.
Can't bump draft through the turns, can you, BP?
Yeah, NASCAR they have no bump zones. In the middle of the corner, they have observers that watch these cars. If you go up and bump another car in front of you, you will be penalized by NASCAR.
This is what it looks like when you run in the middle of the pack at a buck 97, buck 98. And you watch these cars moving around. They're not driving them around. That's what the air is doing to these cars. So these cars float a lot in the corners. That's all just the air swirling around off these other cars, and it affects your car. You're constantly correcting the steering wheel. It doesn't get much closer racing than Talladega.
I think the surface is a hit.
It is, and you know, if you can run this way and everybody respects each other, like BP said, it's going to get a little bit different later in the race, but it's a lot of fun to do this when you're running with guys that you trust and everybody is given and taken. But later on, BP, you're right, it'll be all take.
Among the teams that got 4 tires, Harvick, Gilliland, Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, Brian Vickers.
Green flag, green flag.
I think that's a good move. If this thing stays green, then those guys only have to come in, get a splash of gas, and go. And they're going to be on better tires than everybody else, BP.
I agree with you. I think 4 tires was the right call. Clint Boyer is being pushed by the 17 car. Matt Kenseth, as they try to get away from the field. For a second, they had Bobby Labonte, a lap car in the 43, between themselves in 3rd place, but that vanished quickly.
Denny Hamlin also took 4 tires. Want to point out that our race off of pit road that we showed you earlier after these pit stops was incorrect. Jimmy Johnson did not pick up 13 positions. There was a computer scoring error. He took 4 tires on his stop.
Well, doggone, I was impressed.
Boy, Boyer losing a lot of ground in 1 lap. There he is right there. He was in 1st and comes around that lap in 10th spot. See Kyle Busch in the 5 car swinging up high around the 12 of Ryan Newman.
Update on the race leader, Matt Kenseth from Marty.
And the 17 is awfully good today, Bill. When he came off pit road, he said, guys, that was an excellent 2-tire stop. That may have been one of the best you've ever done. And the 17 has some pretty good stops on their resume. I talked to Robbie Reiser about the 2 tires. He said, we have seen 0 tire wear today at all. So I don't think 2 tires are going to hurt us here at all. In fact, they may take none for the rest of the day. The tire wear has been virtually nothing today.
See how it all plays out.
That's pretty good when you run this fast, have no tire troubles, and no wear.
Really amazing.
On new surface.
BP approaching 52 to go. Are we making the shift from give to take?
Yeah, we're slowly starting to make that transition.
Wow. Matt?
Bill, the former teammates Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth working well together. In fact, in the last caution, they passed a message to Kurt from Matt that said, thank you for the help. I needed it. We'll do more of the same. And they are on the 2-tire strategy as well. Left side tires have about 20 laps on them, so that way they feel like the final stop, fuel only. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon, he went the opposite direction in the 24, 4 tires, so they can go no tires on their final stop. Just fuel, quick splash of fuel only.
Mark Martin,
yeah.
and that 6 car.
Oh, there he goes. Casey Mears, McMurray, and front of a huge pack.
No, that's Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon is in it. Martin Truex Jr. in the 1. Gordon just got hit again.
Oh, man.
You got real hard, buddy. I didn't see it at all. Yeah.
I guess Junior's back there in the middle of that, too, wasn't he?
Yes. Denny Hamlin, the 11 car.
Yep.
See Clint Boyer, 07, trying to drive away. Well, we keep talking about the big one. This was it.
Looks like there's Boyer. Oh, that started way up high. Who was that at way up high?
That Carl in 99?
Looks like it. Have to get another look.
That started from way up on the outside of the wall.
Looked like Harvick. Was Harvick right in front of that?
See if we can get another. Well, it'll be tough to see from that shot, too.
Now Harvick goes high and just gets tagged by Gordon. Some of these cars have already made it back to pit road.
It looks like it's Carl Edwards. Now, I don't know if Carl got tagged, but he got loose, like he got hit. And he turned to the left. When he turned to the left, he went down the racetrack and hit whoever was to the left of him.
Which was Casey Mears, I believe, in 42.
Watch 99 on the left. Now you're not going to be able to see it from this shot.
3 wide. Inside, 4 wide.
Trouble.
That's camera deep getting hit right there.
Dave Burns.
Left side damage, Bill, on the 29 car. A little bit on the front end, mostly on the door of Kevin's car. They're going to pound it out just a little bit on the left front, but it's not as bad in the front as we may have thought. But the side, there's still, you know, wind that needs to, air that needs to go down the side, so Kevin's car will definitely not be what it was earlier. Alan?
Most of the damage to Denny Hamlin's car concentrated on the fenders at the corners on the right side. Denny saying to the team he didn't think that the wheels were hit at all in any of the contact. So right now, the crew chief, Chris Gillen, the car chief rather, under the right rear of the car, looking at the damage there. And they're checking out the right front fender as well. Matt?
Now the 26 of Jimmy McMurray has already come back to the garage. Jeff Gordon's team is awaiting his arrival back here. Gordon on the radio trying to diagnose to his team how bad and what areas are damaged. He says, we are just dragging a ton of stuff. They're trying to bring a sway bar arm from the pit box, trying to get all the different parts ready. They've got a crash station back here ready to go as soon as the 24 gets back here. Marty?
Matt Kenseth comes to pit road. Matt, he's going to take on some tires here. They're also going to take on fuel. They didn't know if they can make it all the way from here. They obviously cannot make it all the way from here, so they'll have to pit again. Matt?
And the 6 of Mark Martin in for service.
Looked like fuel only there for the 6. Alan?
Watching, well, actually, I'm headed in opposite directions here.
Okay.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson are pitted at opposite ends of the pit road here, and we're going to check out the damage on both cars. Jimmy Johnson leaving pit road now. We'll get an update there in just a second.
Johnson's car looked pretty clean from here, Alan. Taking a look at it right now.
Well, Junior must have been in front of that accident because I never saw him anywhere in the back.
There's one way to find out, BP.
How's that?
Let's go on board with Junior.
Well, it looked pretty clean by that shot, too. So if he got hit, he maybe got hit in the back a little bit. Denny Hamlin right in front of him.
He was in the wreck.
Stay high, dude. Stay high. Stay high. Doing good. Right through the middle.
How about that? He stopped.
Remember that when this checkered flag falls at Homestead. That's great work by Earnhardt. This is on board with Denny Hamlin. Not quite as fortunate. Jr. behind Kurt Busch. Casey Kane in that outside lane, then the 2 Hendrick cars, Johnson and Vickers, then championship leader Jeff Burton in the 31.
Watch that 9 car, Casey Kane, come back.
Yeah, that high groove is working pretty good, BP, and it's had the 48 really pounding on that back bumper, which has been helping too.
With the smaller plate, BP, better fuel mileage?
Yes, a little bit. It might mean a lap or 2 in a run.
Look at that. 48 all over the back of the 9 car.
Because less horsepower uses less fuel.
And these guys basically very similar to Kansas, right on the edge of their fuel window here.
They are right dead on the edge.
They have warned Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Tip four on that. Tip four NASCAR.
Warned Dale Jr. for using his front bumper. Bump drafting.
Yeah, they just don't want you to do it right here. Because when you start bump drafting a guy in the corner and the guy's got his wheels turned and you hit him in the rear, it just pulls the rear wheels off the ground and it wants to spin the cars out. Now when you're going straight, you can take the shot. You just hold the steering wheel straight. But as the cars turn into the corner, you don't want to be pushing somebody through the corner.
And the 8 car is just so good, he just closes up on them in the corners. Okay, fuels could be an issue here. Let's get some reports from pit road. Matt?
While the car on the inside, the 2 of Kurt Busch doesn't have any issue with fuel. The 9 of Casey Kane, they are right on the edge of their window. In fact, after the last caution, his team was telling him to shut the engine off and just coast. AB?
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew chief Tony Eury Jr. told me a couple minutes ago they are good to the finish on fuel. He said it very emphatically, yes. Chad Knaus, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief. You see him in the 48 there on the outside lane. He says they're okay to the finish on fuel, Dave.
And the 29 car of Kevin Harvick, good, real good, according to his crew. More than that, they fixed the front end, and that car is aerodynamically back near where it started, Marty.
Dave, you can just feel the intensity pick up as it goes 3 wide out on the racetrack. Matt Kenseth is just a little bit short on fuel. Jeff Burton, however, says he's about a 1/10 of a gallon short, but they're going to go for it as best they can. So a 1/10 of a gallon short, but the championship leader is still going to the end. And Matt Kenseth, as we said, a little bit short on fuel, we think. And then we got a straight answer from Robbie Reiser. So I think 17 just a little bit short on fuel. And remember, they ran out at Dover, but so far their plan is to stay on the track. Matt?
Marty, his teammate who's in his mirror, Mark Martin, they've told him he is good to go on fuel. Fuel is not a concern. He is saying, though, that it's getting awfully warm inside that race car. Bill?
Casey Kane goes back to front. Now, the way Junior got the lead, if you saw that pass, was he hit the 2 while the 2 was turning into the corner. The 2 of Kurt Busch got loose and he went flying up the racetrack, and that's what NASCAR doesn't want you to do.
Junior tries to edge away. It's Jimmy Johnson and Brian Vickers behind the 8. Casey Kane leads that inside lane. 27 cars on the lead lap. Here's the pass Wally was talking about.
Okay, so watch, he's going down the corner. Now he's already got the wheel turned, and he just got into the back of him just a little bit. Kurt Busch had to save the car. He slid up the racetrack. Caught his breath. Junior got the lead.
Now Casey Kane in the 9 is trying to take back the lead. They've been beating on the back bumper of that 9 car today, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Everybody has been.
Kane really wants to get in front of Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Less than 17 laps to go here at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the race leader.
It just looks like that high line is the place to be today, BP. And I think Junior knows that. He does not want to give that high line up.
And Casey Kane is running the middle of the racetrack. I'm surprised he doesn't drive down to the yellow line and run the very bottom of the track.
I think he's afraid if he does that and he opens up the right side, they're going to fill it. And then he'll be down on the bottom all by himself.
And go back to the end of the line. Good point.
27 cars on the lead lap, separated by a second and a half.
See the 5 car there on the bottom of the racetrack by himself, Kyle Busch. I'm telling you, he has overheating problems, and he's trying to run down there and get some air to go through the grill to cool the engine.
You could feel in the Bank of America Countdown to Green pre-race show that Dale Earnhardt Jr. could not wait for this race to get started.
Well, he knew he had a good race car. I mean, he was very disappointed in qualifying, but in practice, his car was really strong. They were real happy with that car. And you're right, he couldn't wait to get started.
5-time winner. Alan?
Well, Bill, Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking to see if he can score.
Oh, we got trouble, AB.
J.J. Yaley trying to hang on to it. Caught a couple of cars. Paul Menard, Tony Stewart, David Stremme. Kyle Busch, who'd fallen off the pace, gets through it. There were 7 chasers running in the top 10. They all appear to have been ahead of it.
A lot of damage there. The Stewart's car as well as Yaley's.
There's Denny Hamlin's on board.
Jeff Gordon, meanwhile, is back on the racetrack. This is going to happen right in front of Tony Stewart. It's like Stremme is going to get in the back of the 18 and just hook him. And the 11 car ran in the back of the 20. No, I guess it was a 15 that did most of the damage.
Boy, it looked like Hamlin got through there somehow.
He ran in the back of the 20, but I'm not sure how much damage that he did.
He got it pretty good.
He did.
A lot of quarter panel damage.
So the right side tire is smoking on Hamlin as well.
Well, I mean, Yaley just got off the throttle like, almost like a tire blew or something, because he slowed down really fast. And those guys behind him, they couldn't do anything.
Here's Hamlin's on board.
He got
hit in the right side, too, didn't
he? Pace car to pit road. 25 cars on the lead lap, from Dale Earnhardt Jr. all the way back to Denny Hamlin.
There are some cars that could have pulled up, but I'm glad they didn't.
7 of the 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup restart in the top 10 spots. Report from pit road is that Tony Stewart will try to help Denny Hamlin get to the front. Teammates, of course, for Joe Gibbs Racing.
And as Alan Bestwick talked about, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has the 20, the 48, and 25. Rick Hendrick owned cars, teammates directly behind him.
Yeah, I'm sure that 8 car will start getting real wide here in the last 9 laps. He'll be looking in that mirror.
What's Burton?
He may have a tire going down.
Burton?
Championship leader.
Be ready, guys. Be ready. It's coming.
The way that car wiggled, he may have a tire flat.
Marty, he came on the radio and said something's wrong. And he said, I think I've got a flat. Fortunately, it happened pretty much on the back stretch going into turn 3. A very opportune time to have a flat tire for Jeff Burton. He diagnosed it. He said it's a left rear flat tire. They bring in the pit road. They will change left side tires only for the championship leaders as Dale Jr. and everybody else races around the track. He will try to get these tires changed as quickly as possible and back out on the racetrack. Tough break for the championship leader, Bill.
Back up.
They're going to go down a lap for sure, Marty.
Evidently, the right rear. They're changing right sides as well.
4 tires under green for Jeff Burton. He came to pit road with an 87-point lead in the chase for the Nextel Cup.
Well, that's going to change in a lap.
He said here in the media center on Friday, everybody's going to have a bad race. It could be here for me.
Look at that, from 87 to 16 in one lap with 10 to go. Well, that just made the race a lot closer.
Top 7 within 83 points. Top 8 within one race. 156 points.
Now the 48 and the 25 are probably trying to figure out BP when they're going to pull out. It's not if.
It's when.
It's when. And they're hoping that the 9 goes with them, because I think the only way to beat the 8 car is if everybody leaves them out to dry.
Leaves him hung out there.
Allen.
Well, not only when you pull out to pass, but where you pull out to pass. Brian Vickers, third place car in that 25 under the caution. An extensive kind of monologue on his team radio talking about the fact that the inside lane just doesn't seem to be there. That's why you see Dale Jr. protecting the outside lane. That's why you don't really see anybody marching forward down the bottom.
Ah, here they go in the back now. About 10th or 12th spot. They've all died from the bottom. Kenseth trying to go on the inside.
Hoping for help from Harvick. Then they get back in line.
This is where it starts getting dicey. 7 laps to go. Everybody wants to get everything they can get.
Carl Edwards by himself on the bottom of the racetrack. But he has Gilliland back there in the 38 if he can help him.
And he has Mark Martin in front of him who could pull out.
I tell you, Junior's car really goes through the corners. I mean, I know it's fast in the straightaway, but his car really, really rolls through the corners.
That Daytona, when the 8 car was having so much success, I felt like that was his reason for success, that he got through the corners so well.
Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car won here in May 1st.
Look, you can actually see him pulling away from the pack in the corner.
Is there any chance they'd all pull out and try and hang out Earnhardt?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The only way I think they're going to beat him is if they do that. They all have to, and they should do it sooner than later.
Right.
I mean, they shouldn't wait for the last lap because, like I said, Junior's going to make that car awfully wide.
5 to go at the line this time.
And so he should.
Through the tri-oval. Remember, the start-finish line here is down past the end of pit road. Johnson thinking about it.
It could be that the 48 and 25 can turn their radios to talk to each other.
Oh, I'm sure they can. Yeah,
and they can
do that.
Jimmy can say to the 25, okay, let's go. And they can peel off.
But they really need to be talking to the 9 and the 2 also to see where all those guys are going to go. Because if the 48 and the 25 pull down and Casey Kane goes to the 8, they're done. AB.
Just a couple things to think about. First of all, Jimmy Johnson trying to race to get back into a championship in second. He certainly doesn't want to get involved in a wreck with a risky move. Brian Vickers is leaving the Hendrick Motorsports team at the end of the year. He wants his first win. How loyal will he be to Jimmy Johnson's back bumper? We'll see. Matt?
You got 2 Dodge teams, Evernham and Penske, both looking for their first restrictor plate win. Both are waiting until the last possible second before they make their move, diving down to the middle groove. Everyone just trying to be patient before the chaos starts, and everybody tries to make that last move. Mark Martin is trying to get the 43 to go with him on the last lap.
I think the last lap is too long to wait. You've got to do it within 2 or 3 laps to go. Because you're not going to have enough time to pull it off with 1 lap to go, I don't think.
Everyone is just terrified to pull out and go to the end of this line.
They're afraid if they go, nobody will go with them.
Exactly. If they make a move, everyone's going to run up behind the 8 car and just leave them hung out.
3 to go.
48 cars trying to lay back, Jim.
That's so we can get a run.
Yeah, what he means by that, he's bringing the field behind him back a little bit. So then when he gets back on the gas, he'll get a draft off the 8 car, get a run, and be able to pass him. But like I said, the 8 car is watching out of that mirror as much as he's watching out of that windshield right now. See, he's got the run, just not enough of a run to where he can slingshot by him. Going to have to lay back a little bit more. Running out of time.
They're coming down to the start-finish line. 2 to go this time.
This is when it's got to happen.
2 to go.
And they're going to get antsy in the back once they start running side by side behind them.
Coming to the white flag this time. All lined up, 10 in a line, then 2 wide.
Earnhardt Jr., a 5-time winner here at Talladega.
I can't believe nobody's pulled out. I can't believe Casey Kane hasn't pulled out. Because Casey, I mean, he needs to be going for the win.
Yes.
It's not a point steal for him.
Or Kurt Busch. Fans cheering at Talladega. Earnhardt Jr. leads last lap.
Outside.
Vickers wants to go. Eight getting a little wider.
There he goes.
Junior.
Down. Oh, no! Vickers hits the 45. Up to 48. It takes out Earnhardt and Jimmy Johnson.
Caution is out. The leaders had already taken the white flag.
So is it going to be the 25 or the 9?
There are 19 scoring loops around the track. NASCAR will use scoring loops and videotape to determine the race winner. The checkered flag is out. Checkers and yellow out at Talladega.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Not going to be a popular win for the 25. It is.
Ray Evernham, owner of the 9 car. And you know, this damage came from hitting the 8 car in the left door on the 48.
Jimmy Johnson.
Okay, the 48 gets a run. He goes to turn out. The 25 goes with him and just hooks the back of Jimmy Johnson's car. Jimmy Johnson, as he's wrecking, gets into the 8 car. 8 car just an innocent bystander on that deal.
Now watch the 48 go in the left door. The left rear tire, actually.
Watch, these guys get a good run. The 48 pulls out. The 25 pulls out behind him. Just misjudges just an inch. Just enough to turn the 48 into Dale Jr.'s left rear.
There you see it again.
Same thing happened in the Truck Series race Friday night. Last night. Mike Skinner hooked the right rear of Mike Walsh, and in the wall he went. He hit the wall. He didn't have the 8 car to bounce off of. He went in the wall.
Get on board the 8 car here. This is a look out the back. You'll see Jimmy Johnson get a good run. This is what he was waiting for. And then watch the 25 just hook the rear fender here. Just touch the bumper.
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s climbed from the car. The 8 Budweiser Chevy is very damaged. He's going to take off his helmet and take a moment to cool down here and explaining things to his guys here. Junior, he wants a second. He's going to take his booties off. Obviously upset, leading on the final lap. Handshake from Tony Eury Sr. on a race that was very well run. And certainly not the end that he wanted. Clearly had the best car today. And I know that's a disappointing one to take. Walk me through what was going on with the 48.
Well, he was just waiting till the last lap. Very smart move on his part, and they had a good run coming at the end of the race here. And as you see right there, they got a good push together, working really good together there. And I knew it was just really not going to be much I could do. He went to the inside here, and I tried to block him a little bit. But once I understood that he was there, I didn't push the issue anymore, and the 25 turned him into me. So. Brian just, excited there. I hated for 48 and hated for our team. We had a great car and not really that upset. It's just the way racing goes here, and sometimes you come out on the good end of those deals. I'm really happy Brian got his first win, and for him, Rick Hendrick and everybody, but
you know, just unfortunate we tore our car. My guys really wanted to win today.
This will be a big hit in the championship standings real quick, Junior.
Yeah, ain't much I could have done about it. Believe me, I tried to save it.
All right, Junior did the best he could, Bill, but ends up with a wrecked race car.
Thank you, Marty. Well, Brian Vickers has pulled into victory lane, and Alan Bestwick is there.
And we'll hear the reception that Brian will get from his team and from the fans. Brian, your first win. I guess the first thing I need to ask you is tell me about the last lap.
Yeah. Oh man, that was it's pretty exciting to get our first win at the GMXC Chevy. I said I wanted to get a win for Ricky in this car. I want to dedicate this win to Ricky so bad. Not quite exactly how I planned it. You know, Jimmy had a heck of a run, and I was pushing him. And then when he turned down, I got off of him, and he turned down to pass the 8, and the 8 just kept pushing him down. And when he jerked to avoid the 8, trying to block him, I just got in the back of him. I apologize. That's the last thing I want to do was get into Jimmy and all that take place. But you know, when they chopped him and Jimmy swerved, and I just got him. It's not how I wanted to win it, but it's nice to get a win for this 25 car. It's been a long time.
I was going to say, can you explain the mixed emotions that this must bring for you?
Mixed emotions. You're saying enough. I mean, I'll tell you, there at the last lap, I knew that Jimmy was waiting for the last lap, and I was willing to push him to the front. I didn't expect for us to be able to win. I was looking for us to maybe get a second place, for Jimmy to push Jimmy by the 8, and that'd be it. And but what happened, and you know, it's still nice to get this win. It's not quite how we planned it, but I hate it for Jimmy. I want to apologize to him. Like I said, it just when he swerved to miss the 8, you know, I was there, and it just happened.
You talked about Ricky Hendrick. You are leaving this team in just another 6 races now. Thoughts on finally getting the breakthrough win with the Hendricks?
Yeah, it means all the world. I mean, you know, for like I said, you know, for Jimmy to have to wreck, it's not how I wanted it, but to get this win for Ricky Hendrick and everybody in that plane crash, it just means all the world to me. You know, it was close to me, and you know, I miss him all the world, and we've been wanting to get this win for him for a long, long time. It's good to see the 25 back in victory lane.